Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru. And he's Count Jackula, and today we're going to talk about Dolly, an independent slasher film from director Rod Blackhurst, based on his short film titled Baby Girl.
This is a really good movie.
It's a really good movie. This is a really good slasher. It's also kind of like a throwback to like 1970s movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a little bit of like 2000s grime and torture thrown in. It's got a little bit of both those flavors.
Yeah, it also reminded me a bit of the movie The Baby.
The Baby. Oh,
you know?
Yeah. I can totally see that. The movie follows a couple going on a hike in the woods when they run into the titular Dolly, played by Max the Impaler. Max the Impaler is a trans wrestler who I know next to nothing about except for the fact that their pronouns are they, them. But Dolly, the character that Max plays, is she, her. So
got it.
When referring to Dolly, we will still refer to her as she, her. So Dolly is a massive lady who lives in the woods and wears a doll mask and kidnaps the woman of this couple and turns her into her baby.
Yep. Now, anything kind of upsetting and disgusting that you think could happen in this scenario pretty much does happen.
I was sitting there calling out what was going to happen before it happened, and everyone in the room was like, please don't let that be true. And it was.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there just gleefully like, oh man, this movie's so fucked up. That is the one thing I'll say about this movie. It's good, but it's fucked up.
Oh yeah, the movie definitely delivers fucked up a tune.
100%. It also stars Seann William Scott as the male in the fucking couple at the beginning of the movie.
Which was really weird because it was like, wait, we know that guy.
Yeah, I know that guy. I mainly know him from comedies, but he has done some like random,
he's done
more
like
serious movies.
Random other types of movies.
So it was kind of cool to see him in this movie, though he is tied to my one criticism of this movie, which I don't know how to describe the criticism without spoiling something in the movie.
Yeah, that's a spoiler thing.
So I'll talk about it in the spoiler section. If you want to hear my one criticism, I'll put it at the beginning of the spoilers. But it does involve the Seann William Scott character. But my criticism aside, if you like grimy, grungy slasher movies, if you like fucked up, like backwoods family movies, like those kind of movies where there's like an inbred family doing fucked up shit.
Yeah.
This is kind of a mix of all those things.
Oh, yeah.
As well as being like a woods slasher where, you know, you're running through the woods and you got a guy, well, a girl.
A woman.
And whose main weapon seems to be a shovel in this.
Yes.
Even though she's doll themed, she carries a shovel around everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
And man, is she a fucking like magician with that shovel. She will saw you right in half.
They kind of imply that there is something supernatural going on with her, but they don't like really call attention to it.
Well, this is what's
sort of there.
What's hard to tell is if there's anything supernatural going on or if it's just old slasher tropes being used. Because, like, slashers will do this thing where you'll have a character who's just walking really slowly and then he'll somehow catch up to the person. And she does shit like that throughout this movie, right?
Yeah, she's ungodly tough.
Yes. Ungodly strong. There's a point in which a character says, well, I can't possibly lift that thing over there, and she does it with ease.
Yeah, it's just like, what?
But the character who says it is clearly not small.
Right.
You know, you're like,
and they made a point of doing that.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. So she is just, like, incredibly tough and strong. And also, I don't know how to put this, so I'm going to try to put it as delicately as possible. This is quite possibly the most autistically coded slasher killer I've seen since the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
She straight up has the like stimming.
She straight up like stims and stuff like that.
I don't know how people are going to feel about that when they see it, but I thought she gave a really good performance.
Yeah.
Or they gave a really good
performance
playing her. But it did feel like just straight up like an autistic serial killer.
It did. Now
whose special interest is being a mother.
Yeah.
Being a mother and having a baby. And dolls.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The reason it's called Dolly is because not just because she wears a doll mask, which she does, but she also has all of these dolls and creates doll art.
She's got collections of dolls that she will hang places, like in the woods. There's like an entire like little shrine she's got of just dolls and doll parts everywhere. But she'll also kill people and then like turn them into doll things.
Yeah.
At least it's implied she did this in the past, based on some of the things the main character stumbles across over the course of this movie.
Yeah. Like, she has killed before, she'll do it again.
Yep,
you know?
100%. 100%.
I've seen some movies where they've got, like, a wrestler playing the slasher, and it worked, and ones where it didn't work.
I can think of a franchise where it's the same wrestler, and it didn't work, and then it did work in the second one.
See No Evil?
Yes.
Yes.
The first one was ass. Second one, pretty good.
Yeah, second one, pretty awesome.
Pretty good.
That was a good one. Yeah, and this one, it really helps that it was a wrestler because the person in that outfit needed to be very strong.
And the other thing is that wrestlers, by the very nature of their job, there's a lot of like physical acting.
Exactly.
That goes into their performance in the ring. And this character is a character that has to physically act and emote without seeing the face at all.
What we're saying is Maxie Impaler did a fantastic
Maxie
job.
Impaler did a fantastic job. Kudos to them. They did a phenomenal job. Because Dolly is just immediately iconic.
Oh,
in this movie.
yeah. It was...
It's not just a female Leatherface, though there are some shades of Leatherface.
Oh yeah,
there
are definitely shades of Leatherface in the character, but like there's definitely their own thing.
There's also some shades of Jason with the character's mommy issues.
Yes.
The movie is also darkly humorous at times.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of bits where you can tell like that's not just supposed to be horrifying, that's also supposed to be kind of funny.
Yeah. It's but it's a slasher movie.
Which is later clarified when you have like literal like joke moments.
Yes.
Like the part with the park ranger later in the movie. So fucking funny. But yeah, I just thought this movie worked for me on just about every level, except for the realism level, which we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section.
There's a thing that occurs in this film where you're like, that's impossible.
There's a lot of things.
There's stretching reality, and there's no way that happened.
There's a lot of things I'm willing to roll with. There's a lot of movie logic I'm willing to roll with. But that one thing literally took me out of the movie when it happened. And we'll talk about it at the front of the spoilers. So if you want to know, we'll tell you there. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, let's move on to the spoilers. Seann William Scott's jaw gets ripped off. It gets like, she fucking shoves the shovel in between it. And then over the course of the movie, it basically is fucking dangling as he's fucking running through the woods trying to save his fiance. Well, soon to be fiance. He hasn't proposed yet.
He hasn't proposed yet, but like, you know.
But while he's doing this, he is very clearly screaming his fiance's name, Macy!
Yeah.
Macy! And he's actually hitting the consonants. And
and you're like, how's he doing that with no jaw attached?
like, he has no fucking jaw. It's just fucking dangling there. I'm like, I challenge you. I challenge you all to not move your jaw and keep it down and say Macy.
Yeah.
And clearly enunciate it. It's impossible. And that's not the only thing he says in the movie.
Yeah, he says other things too.
And I'm just like, wait, hold on. Does Seann William Scott have like ventriloquist powers or something? Like, how is he speaking at all? It made no sense. It took me out of the movie when it happened, but it's my one criticism of the movie.
Yeah, actually, him still being alive after all that was actually a great twist.
I like that.
Yeah.
Him running to try to save his fucking girlfriend. I actually kind of wish he didn't speak.
Yeah, right.
He was just making weird noises because in that way you could have like played with like her not realizing it was him until like she gets close or something. Could have played with that a little bit. But A+ for the effects of the actual jaw. It looks amazing throughout the movie because you get a lot of good looks at it and you don't like see like his actual face underneath it or anything. So
yeah,
whatever they did to fucking hide that, they did A+ job. And so with that said, if you don't want to hear any other spoilers, you can scoot right now because we're going to talk about the rest of the movie. So one of the big spoilers in this movie is that when she first ends up at this house and you know, you have all this gross shit like her peeing herself,
yes,
and then her having her diaper change, and the fucking nipple scene where she breastfeeds.
The breastfeeding scene, I had to say, was the moment where I was like, oh God, movie, don't do this. But I was ultimately glad that they did, because that's called delivering.
Every possible gross thing you could do involving a baby, Dolly does to the main character of this movie.
Yes.
This poor woman who was just going on a hike with her boyfriend.
Yeah. Going on a hike with her boyfriend, got some commitment fears.
She's a little worried about being a mother, given that the boyfriend has a daughter.
Yeah, boyfriend comes with a kid,
But, the boyfriend's thinking about proposing to her, but she doesn't know that yet until she finds out later, which actually leads to, like, a moment where I'm like, it's not a criticism of the movie, but it's one of those, like, come on now moments when she's, like, got fucking Dolly defeated, and instead of, like, running away, she goes down to get her fucking ring, and Dolly wakes up again. Leave the ring. No, don't do it.
Let the crazy slasher body have it. Just get away.
But one of the spoilers, because I don't think there's anything that indicates this in any of the promotional material, is that Dolly isn't the only threat in this house.
Right.
There's another threat in this house, but you don't realize it's a threat at first. You just think it's another victim in the house, because when she ends up in this house, in the room adjacent to her, she can hear this man talking. Be careful. She's gonna do this. She can hear anything you do. Like, just be careful. The main character, when they successfully manage to get Dolly to fall asleep, ends up helping this person escape, only to realize it's Dolly's abusive father. And that person ends up holding the main character hostage to get Dolly to remove the bolt that's blocking the door, because he can't lift it. Only Dolly can, because Dolly's like stupidly strong. So you end up with this like standoff where Dolly wants to protect her baby, and she's being fucking held hostage by this fucking abusive asshole. One of the first things you see in the movie is Dolly like embracing the decapitated body of its mother. And then later on in the movie, you find the head of the mother in this shrine in the basement, and it's like stitched onto a doll in like the middle of this shrine, kind of like something out of like Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah.
But even creepier, because again, it's on a doll.
Yeah.
The main character does get away, maybe not with all of her sanity. There's kind of like a
Sally Hardesty.
Yeah, it's got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre effect where like she gets away, but then she's like laughing maniacally, like
she's kind of depressed
and then crying,
she's laughing a little bit. She's got one of them endings.
But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I highly recommend it. Check out Dolly when you get a chance. You owe it to yourself if you're a wrestling fan or if you're a horror fan. It'll feed both of those desires.
Yes.
Hell, if you're a Seann William Scott fan and just want to see Seann William Scott not be funny, bold move to cast Seann William Scott and remove his mouth for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, with all that said, my fellow Gorehounds, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube during the week at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I stream. Schedule's got a little spotty lately. I apologize for that, but I usually do it every weekday. So you should come on down, have a look-see there. What about you there, Horror Guru?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms, but these days I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages, and remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more.
Yeah.
And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, if you made it this far into the video, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag Jaws of Death. Use the hashtag Jaws of Death. That way I know, that way Jack knows, that way the whole world knows that you know the best kill in this movie. It's actually technically 2 kills because he survives the first time.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, peace out, and we'll catch y'all later.